Welcome to the book of Shoftim, chapter 1, Perek Aleph. Warning, this might actually become your most favorite book. The book of Shoftim is filled with really beautiful, fascinating stories, and so really I hope everyone enjoys. Remember, we're following the book of Yehoshua, where the people of Israel conquered the land of Israel, but unfortunately they left pockets of the Knaanim. They left some areas that were unconquered, and so a lot of the things that we're going to see in this chapter and in chapters to follow is the conflicts that Jews have with the neighboring Canaanites that they did not dispel from the land. And so after Yehoshua dies, remember, the number one job, especially in the book of Shoftim, of a leader in the time of war, of conflict, is to lead the nation in self-defense or in war. And so once Yehoshua dies, the question becomes, who is going to lead the Jewish people next, especially in the context of war? And so the Jewish people ask Hashem, what should we do? Who should lead us in our next war? Who should be first to take on the mighty Canaanites? And so the whole Urim Vetumim that the Kohen Gadol on his chest, I'm sure you do. There's the 12 precious stones where the Kohen Gadol stands, and the people ask a question that they have to Hashem, and the answer lights up. And so Bnei Yisrael ask Hashem, who is going to fight the Canaanites first? Who's going to lead us in the war with the Canaanites? And the light goes on for the tribe of Yehuda, and the answer is Yehuda Ya'aleh. Yehuda will go up first, and Yehuda says to Shimon, who, by the way, if you look at the map of the land of Israel divided to the tribes, you'll see that Shimon is kind of swallowed within the territory of Yehuda. So it's like he's asking his BFF. Yehuda says to Shimon, I know I was chosen to go first and to fight the Canaanites, but I wonder if perhaps you might be kind enough to come with me. And indeed, Shimon agrees to go with Yehuda, and they go to Afek, and they fight, and they defeat them. Now, in their war, in the Yehuda and Shimon's war on Afek, they capture someone named Adoni Bezek. Now, warning, the following details are very gruesome, I would say. Adoni Bezek was a very wicked king, and and I guess these are things they did back in those days. It sounds very horrible. They chopped off his hands and legs when they caught him. Bnei Yisrael chopped off his hands and his legs. Now, why did that happen? So he says, aha, I deserve it. I brought it on myself because I defeated 70 kings of other countries, and I chopped off their arms and legs and made them eat from the leftovers under my table. I was a very cruel and wicked person, and so I just deserve for this to happen to me as well. And he says, just as I have done, Hashem has paid me back and done the same to me. The next is a city that you'll hear about a lot in the future, but not so much around this book. Bnei Yehuda go to fight with the city of Yerushalayim, which is not held by Jews then. It's held by the Yevusim, and they go and they set it ablaze, but they don't actually take it. And then they go and fight with the people living in the Negev. And now we have a little bit of a reminder of stories that took place in the book of Yehoshua. For example, who got the city of Hebron? Remember, it was Kalev ben Yefuneh, and he wasn't able to take Hebron. He got the area of Hebron. He wasn't able to conquer it. So he said, bad idea in general. He said, if you conquer the city of Hebron, I will give you my daughter Achsa as a wife. And thankfully, it wasn't a horrible person who did it. It was actually Otniel ben Knaz. He conquers Hebron and marries Achsa, the daughter of Kalev ben Yefuneh. She asks her father not only to have that territory, but even more territory where she can have water springs. It's a dry area, so she says, please, pretty please, Afikoman present, please give me some a little more territory with water springs so I can drink. You have to drink. She couldn't just go buy a polar spring. She had to get it. So next thing that happens is the Keni, which is the descendants of Yitro, come and they settle in the area of Yericho, Irat Marim, and they go and they fight the king of Arad. Yehuda fights Aza, Ashdod, Ashkelon, all those places that are on the southern coast of Israel, close to Gaza. They go and they conquer and they get all those parts. But although Yehuda is able to successfully conquer the entire mountain area, the area of Yerushalayim and the mountains of Yerushalayim, they are not successful in capturing the more valley areas, places like Tel Aviv, Netanya, because the people there have metal chariots, and there's nothing that can beat a metal chariot. So at least in those days, and so Yehuda is not able to take the area of the coast. Next, you have the people of Yosef. Remember, we're now talking about pockets. So every tribe has pockets of Canaanites in its area that they still go to war with, and so Yosef are not able to defeat originally Beit El, but then they wanna take Beit El, which is also named Luz. So how do you take this powerful city? So Bnei Yosef see someone who's the guard at the gate, and they say, "Shh! If you tell us the secret entrance to the city, we'll spare you and your family." And indeed, he walks them to the secret entrance to the city. They walk from there, and they conquer the entire city, and they spare that man because he gave them the secret doorway to the city. That is Bnei Yosef. Now we go to Menashe and look what pockets of area they didn't conquer. And Menashe didn't take Beit Sha'an and its area and Megiddo and its area. It doesn't end up defeating them. It ends up forcing the Canaanites to pay them taxes and basically remain well-behaved and just pay their taxes. Ephraim don't defeat the people that are in Gezer, and so the Canaanites live in Gezer. Zvulun does not defeat the people of Kitron, so the Canaanites live there. Asher does not defeat the people of Akko and Sidon, so they sit there. And Naphtali does not defeat the people of Beit Shemesh, and they remain there. The Emoris end up pushing back against the tribe of Dan, and so they end up having this conflict with the children of Dan, and they live in Ayalon and Shalabim, and eventually they also pay taxes to the tribe of Yosef. That is Perek Aleph. So again, what did we have? We have Bnei Israel not knowing who's going to lead them after Yehoshua dies. We have them asking Hashem who's going to fight first in the battle against the Canaanites. We have it coming up as the name of Yehuda. Yehuda begs Shimon to join them. They join them. They defeat Adoni Bezek, who chopped off the arms and legs of 70 other kings. Not a very nice man. And then you have Bnei Yehuda conquering Yerushalayim. You have again the story that we saw in the book of Yehoshua of Kalev ben Yefuneh getting Hebron and promising his daughter Achsa would marry anyone who takes the city of Hebron, and it ends up being Otniel ben Knaz. We have a listing of all the different pockets of Canaanite areas that the Jews were not able to take, but eventually, in most cases, the Canaanites ended up just living there quietly and paying taxes to the people. We had Bnei Yosef going to Beit El, which is a city they couldn't conquer, and they find the guard at the gate and promise him that they will spare him if he tells them the secret entrance to the city. That has been Perek Aleph. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to seeing you as this journey continues in Perek Bet in the book of Shoftim.